Okay, so today we're going to talk about a glaze chart. This thing is going to be your best friend when glazing. The easiest way to read it is to realize that when you have when you have glaze, it's going to be a very different color when it starts out than when it finishes. So if I looked at this color right here and noticed that it kind of looks white, at the end of the day, it's really going to become this color. It's going to be very gray. It's because a chemical process happens and to the glaze, and it changes when I put it back in the kiln. So you cannot go on the color of the glaze in the bottle. You have to look at these color samples that I've made for you. Okay, so how to use this and how to make sure it's a tool for you. So there's two of these. They'll be in the front of the classroom on the whiteboard. And the easiest way to use it is to look at this color right here, or to look at any of the colors going down, and there's a lot of them. Again, there are two of them. This is the blues, grays, pinks, blacks, and browns. So look at the color, find the color you want, then read the name. The name is really important. Then this square over here tells you what table. I know this is kind of faded, but this is telling me that it's the blue table. So I could walk over to the blue table and try to find turquoise. And what I would have to do is I would have to read the side of the bottle. And if I look at the side of the bottle and right here it says medium blue, I know I haven't found the color that I'm looking for. So I'd say, oh, okay, but I found this color. Do I like this color? No, I'm still looking for turquoise. So that's how you're going to use this. Now, say for instance, this were in here, and say, oh, what table is it at? If I don't have a little place card on there, it means I don't have it out. And most likely I don't have it out because the colors are so similar that there's no point in having both colors out. So typically I won't have two grays or two whites because we actually have three different types of whites. So I'll pick one to have out, and that'll be that. So, next thing on glazing is you have to realize there are two different types of glaze. This is what's called a stroke and coat glaze, and it's going to pretty much be the color that you want it to be at the end. And then there's this glaze, which is the more traditional type of glaze that's going to go through a chemical process in the kiln and change color. So the ones in the tall, skinny bottles will be the color, they'll just be more shiny at the end. And the one in the rounder bottles and the stubbier bottles will change colors. So beware of that. The ones in the tall, skinny bottles will actually be out on a plate. So when you are using it, you'll have a squirt of it out. This will get closed and it'll be left on here. Most likely the name will be across, and there will be two paintbrushes in the color. Keep the paintbrushes with the color. Do not move paintbrushes. These paints do not mix because they go through a chemical change. And when the chemicals react with each other, they most likely will not create the color you want, and they'll most likely turn this ugly, yucky brown. So don't mix the colors. So, alright. When you are using the traditional shorter, stubbier bottles, you have to just take off the cap. If the little piece comes off with it, put it back in the cap, and let the cap hang out next to the paint so that we make sure they go back together with the correct one. And then all you have to do is put two paintbrushes inside of here. When you go to use the color, make sure you wipe it off. There is going to be paint that goes all over the place, but at the end of the day, we'll wipe it off and it won't be a big deal. So, this is the basics of how to use it. In the next video, I'll talk to you about coats and how you have to have multiple coats. And how to actually glaze.